Hey, it's Jared. I've been uploading for over 100 days to a channel and a variety of social media profiles, and I wanted to share my experience so far, share the growth, and the different things that have taken place since I started. You see, I challenged myself to read a chapter of scripture a day and to note something that stuck out to me, and I decided that I wanted to share that online. Now, I'm a Christian, and I also share about a lot of other stuff on my tech channel, on my camera channel, and even on this channel, but I wanted to share more specifically to my faith and just the different things that are connecting with me as I read scripture and the Lord's maybe has something stick out to me. So I thought I would do that on social media. There's lots of stuff on social media, and I figured it would be great if there was just that much more that had to do with things that I cared about, and that's why I decided I wanted to do it. Now, there are 5 things that I've kind of stuck out to me over this last month, things that I've had to think about. Definitely as you're uploading every single day, that can be kind of challenging, and so 5 things really have stuck out, so let's jump into those. The first is that you really have to keep things as simple as possible. If you're going to upload every single day, your process and your gear has to be insanely simple. Now, I was just uploading reels every single day, so that's a little bit easier than a full YouTube video that could be several minutes to a dozen or more minutes in length. A reel is usually 90 seconds or less, maybe a maximum of 3 minutes, depending on what platform you're uploading to. And so my process was to use the DJI Pocket 3. And let's just take a look at how easy it is to set this up. So essentially, when I start getting ready to film for the day, I will grab the Pocket 3. I'll grab the little extender battery pack because it has the 1/4-20 mount on the bottom of it. I will connect it like so. I'll put it on the little tripod, and then I will power it on really quickly. Triple tap to get the camera pointed at me. I will then double tap on my face so that active track is enabled and the camera will follow me. So if I move around, the camera will move with me. I then pull out the DJI mic and turn it on. I press that button down and it powers the mic on, and then the mic connects and I'm ready to film. All I have to do is hit record and then I film. Now, my video process is the exact same every single day. I introduce myself, I share the verse, I share my thought, and then I end the video quickly. I try to keep the video under a minute, but a maximum of 90 seconds. And then the uploading process is simply plugging the camera into the computer and uploading directly off of the camera into the social media platform. And we'll look at each of those platforms towards the end of the video when we look at the analytics. The main point here is that simple is sustainable. If I was going to edit a complete video, like this video is going to require some editing, some switching between cameras, going to my computer and cutting out maybe any little mistakes that I've made because it's hard to get an entire video out without making any mistakes, that just simply wouldn't be sustainable for 100 days. I'm just too busy to make all of that happen. So simple is sustainable. The second thing is to set a goal. You see, at the beginning of this, I wanted to set a goal of 100 days. That was my initial goal. And I've set enough goals to know that I can't just simply set the goal and then blindly try and obtain it every single day. I need to set a goal, I need to track that goal, and then I need to maintain that goal. Obviously, doing something for 100 days can be kind of challenging, especially if you weren't doing that at all before. But if you're like me, you have these wild ideas and you just decide to embark on them. And so if you don't decide what the goal is going to be and what it's going to take from the beginning, which I think is important because as you start to think through the goal, you might realize that it's not sustainable. But after you have thought through all of that and you decide to kick off the goal, then you need to track it somehow. And I did that through using Apple Notes. I would put in the scripture, put in my thoughts on that scripture, and that would be in Apple Notes every single day for me. So it was easy for me to track and see exactly what day I was on, know exactly where I had left off and where I was going to be tomorrow. And that was also part of my maintaining of the goal as well. It was easy for me to always go into Apple Notes. Maybe I didn't completely get through the scripture that I was reading for the day. Maybe I did decide on what that verse was, but I didn't have time to think through exactly what I was going to talk about in regards to it. So there was always a way for me to go back and continue to maintain the goal on a daily basis. The third thing is prioritizing that goal. goal. If it's going to be a priority, it has to be a purpose. My underlying purpose was that I wanted to take what I was learning and share that. I recognized a long time ago that if I want to truly learn something, I have to try and figure out how to articulate that to somebody. It's very easy for me to kind of process through my own thoughts and feel like I have some sort of general understanding. But if I have to turn that into words that make sense, that somebody else might watch and actually know what I'm talking about, that takes a little bit more effort. And so my purpose was not only wanting to better understand the things that I was learning, but also the ability to share those so that maybe somebody else that comes across it might find it interesting and perhaps it might speak to them as well. Another part of setting a priority is making time for things. Obviously, sitting down to record a video takes time, uploading it and processing it, all of that stuff takes time, but it also takes time to generate the content behind that as well. Now, I'm simply sharing something that I was already going to do in the first place, so the verse that stuck out to me and sharing some sort of insight that I was able to pull from it was something I was already going to do anyways, but I still needed to prioritize the extra time of recording that, sometimes having to re-record it if I couldn't get it out in the first take. I didn't want to do any editing, and since they're short videos, I just wanted to get it all out in one take, and so that was my goal. Get the video out in one take, upload it, don't do any editing at all, and so I have to allocate enough time for that every single day. Thankfully, number one, simplicity works, and so because I keep my process very simple, it doesn't really take up that much extra time. Number four is measure. Now, I don't have any goals in regards to how many views I get, how many subscribers, and any of that stuff. That's not the goal here. The main thing I'm measuring is the time investment worth it? And I revisit that because if I can answer yes to that question, then it makes the other things much easier. It makes it easier for me to stick to my streak of doing this daily and keep it as a priority. Now, if I was uploading for another purpose, perhaps for my tech channel or something like that, I would be measuring views and subscribers and revenue and all of that stuff because that is more of a job. I'm doing that, sure, for enjoyment, but I'm also doing it because I want to earn a little bit of an income from it. So there's a measurement that's different for that type of a channel in comparison to the content that I've been uploading for the last 100 days. And then obviously, as time has passed, has the outcome been worth it as well? How much deeper have I been thinking about everything because I've had to articulate and put those into words that I was going to speak publicly into a video? Has it led to any interesting conversations that I wouldn't have had otherwise? There are different outcomes that I could look at, especially when I'm challenging myself on whether this should continue to be a priority of mine. Number five is the importance of diversifying across different platforms. You see, I originally wanted to just upload to TikTok, but one of the things that I've always told my clients early on is not to put all of your eggs in one social media basket. Most social media also doesn't give you much control over your audience, and while I don't want control over my audience, I want the ability to continue to speak to my audience or people that are connecting with me regardless of platform, so that if one of them goes away, I still have some audience over on another one and I can keep going, which means if something happens like TikTok gets shut down, then I don't have to start over from zero somewhere else. It also means that I have the entire history of all of my uploads there as well. So let's take a look at the analytics for all of the accounts that I've been uploading to. Let's first start with YouTube. This is the Becoming the Redeemed YouTube channel, and you can see I have 113 subscribers. I've added 35 in the last 28 days. Now, if we look at the content, I have a few videos from a few years ago, and then one that I uploaded after 100 days, and that has 22 views. See, I have not uploaded much long-form content to this channel. But if we look under shorts, you can see that I have now 105 uploads. And if we go and look at by view, you can see the most views that I've received is 448. I occasionally get some comments, but not a ton of views on these. But I consistently get, up in the hundreds, up 100 at least, and as much as 448 views. And this one was from just over 10 days ago. So let's look at the actual analytics themselves. Now, in total, my channel has received 3,285 views in the last 28 days. You can see the view breakdown here over the last 28 days, watch time in hours, and subscribers. And it's giving me comparisons over the last 28 days because I've been uploading for over that amount of time. So if we look at 90 days here, you can see where I started. I went from nothing nothing, basically nothing, and then just kind of started popping off a little bit here. Not a ton of views, but you can see I have 639 on one particular day. But over the last 90 days, almost 10,000 views, almost 72 watch hours, and I added 107 subscribers to my channel, which is great. So before I started uploading daily, I think I only had 3 subscribers on the channel because this channel just was dormant. I wasn't doing anything with it at all. But in the last 100 or so days, I have added 100 subscribers, so that's basically a subscriber a day, and I've added a lot of view time to my channel. Now, if we look at TikTok Studio, at TikTok, I tend to get between 600 and 700 views per video, which is pretty good. You can see that I've gotten 22,000 views in the last 28 days, and that's up 822, and that's up over the prior month. My profile views are up, likes are up. You can see comments are down a little bit and shares are down, but overall things are on the rise, which is great. My TikTok account has 4.3 thousand likes and 262 followers. Let's take a look at posts. You can see my post today is up to 90 views, and on average, most of my view counts per video is going to be between 600 and 800, with most of them being around the 800 mark, which I think is pretty decent. It seems that TikTok turns on the traffic flow for me so that I get about that much per video, and I'm hoping that eventually I will break through that threshold and get more than 800 per video. Looking at Facebook and Instagram, things are a bit slower there. I have one Facebook follower, which might be me, and then I have 29 Instagram followers. Now, I've been uploading daily to Instagram as well, and there just isn't as much traffic taking place on Instagram as there is on the other platforms. You can see that my reach is 13, pretty low on the amount of views and on the watch time. So as far as Facebook goes, Facebook is not pushing this content much at all. And if we look at Instagram, you can see I have a reach of 1,500, 23 interactions, and 29 lifetime followers, which is not that much in comparison to the other platforms. You can see my reach breakdown here. And overall, Facebook and Instagram just have not resulted in a whole lot of traffic for me. I've been uploading videos directly to Substack for a while now, and prior to that, I was just sharing the text. And so an individual post is a video, and so let's just look at the Becoming the Redeemed site. You can see there's a video now, and it essentially is just the same vertical short form content, and I share the text from the post as well. You can see all-time subscribers are at 46. I've received 2 of those from within the app. My last 30-day view count is 850, and my open rate based on the subscribers, so the open rate would be how many people are opening and viewing that email notification that I posted a new video, is at just about 33%. So let's look at the stats real quick. You can see that most people come via email. Other people come from a direct link, which I have that typed into my TikTok profile. I don't have enough followers to share a link in my TikTok profile, but I do share the web address, and so people come directly because of that. And then some people have come from my own personal newsletter as well. The reason that I'm posting to Substack is that Substack is really the only platform in which I can take my user data with me. You see, if somebody signs up on Substack, they've signed up with their email address, and I can actually export that email list and go over to a different tool if I wanted to use something else. I'm using Substack because it's free, and even though I'm uploading video, it's free. Most email newsletter tools are not going to be free, especially if you want to upload video directly to them. Now, Substack also has an option for monetization. I could be charging people to access my newsletter, but I don't have any plans to do that. A lot of people use the Substack app and subscribe to other Substacks, and so it makes it really easy for them to also subscribe to mine. So the key takeaways, if you're going to upload daily content or even content just on the regular, is that it needs to be sustainable, you need to have a purpose behind it, and you need to measure it. All of those things are going to help you keep moving forward, especially on those days where you're just not feeling up to it. I do have a plan to start uploading some content daily to this channel. I really don't know if it's going to be sustainable because the way that I want to do it is not going to be as simple as uploading to the Becoming the Redeemed channel. So I wanted to share this because I find this stuff interesting. I like listening to what other people have to say, and I wanted to add my opinion as well. I'd be curious curious to know what brought you to this video and all the way through it. Have you ever thought about uploading content daily? Have you done that? And if so, what's important to you when it comes to measuring success? I'd love for you to join me on my newsletter. I've got that link down in the description below, as well as the links to the Becoming the Redeemed channels if you wanted to check those out. But that's going to do it for this one. Give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you back in the next one. Take care.